الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله. استووا اعتدلوا واحسنوا إقامة الصفوف. استووا. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. الله أكبر. الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله الله أكبر الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله 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 أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم أما بعد. Dear respected brothers, sisters, students, elders, those who are present, those who are watching or listening, today's talk is going to be very important. What you are about to hear, these are not fairy tales. This is something that has been prophesied by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and also mentioned in the Quran. So our belief in what is going to happen towards the end of times, the minor signs of the Day of Judgment, the major signs of the Day of Judgment, this is all part of our iman, part of our belief. We don't pick and choose what we like to believe and what we don't like to believe. And when we study the minor signs, we know that most of the minor signs have already taken place. Some are currently happening from the minor signs. Some have happened, and there's one or two left that are about to happen, that will happen very soon. But most of the minor signs of the Day of Judgment have happened. And from the first sign of the Day of Judgment was the death of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For example, something that we are currently witnessing is what is happening in Gaza and Palestine, and the expansion of territory by Israel. And this is something that has been prophesied by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Jews, their land will expand, their territory will expand, and yes, it will reach the outskirts of Medina and Makkatul Mukarramah, and they will take Syria and Lebanon. Yeah, so Lebanon and Syria, which is part of the Sham, Iraq. Okay, this is something that has been prophesied. So even now, when Syria was liberated from Bashar al-Assad, who were the main instigators behind liberating Syria? Were the Zionists. Okay, so number one, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jalla wa ala, and this is a great ni'mah of Allah, that the people of Syria, they have been freed. They have been liberated from a tyrant who killed hundreds and thousands of innocent of his own people. Okay? I need this mic, but I leave it there. So this is a great blessing of Allah, that the people of Syria have been liberated. But who is now running that? There's a lot of uncertainty around Syria. And Syria is very important regarding what we are going to discuss today. Why? Because Isa alayhi salam, when he is going to descend from where? Damascus, the white minaret, the white masjid. The one regarding we're going to mention and learn in a few moments, Dajjal will point towards and say, that is the white palace of Ahmed. That is the white palace of Ahmed. He will point towards a white minaret. That is where Isa alayhi salam, he is going to descend. But even now in that territory, there are leaders who are there, but are being controlled behind the scenes from the Zionists. So it's something that we can't say what if, or no, but this can't happen, and no, but it's, no, it's going to happen. Eventually all of these lands, they will be overtaken. Why? Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has prophesied this. From the minor signs, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the daughter is going to give birth to the mother. This in the hadith of Jibreel, where he gives two signs. He says one is the barefoot the uneducated barefoot Arabs. So he's referring to the Bedouins. They're going to compete in building tall, lofty buildings. This was at 1,400. Right? You didn't have Burj Khalifa and buildings like the Burj Khalifa back then. They didn't have these 100-story buildings. They couldn't imagine that. They couldn't imagine. What do you mean? Tall buildings. You had the pyramids there, of course. But you didn't have these buildings. And the Prophet Muhammad said 1,400 years, that these very people, the Bedouins, are going to compete. And now look what's happening in that part of the world. Yeah, in UAE, in Saudi, there's always competition. Who can build the loftiest building? And then the second sign he said was that the daughter is going to give birth to her mother. The daughter is going to give birth to her mother. And that this is happening now. Daughters, their children are controlling their parents. And another meaning of this is social norm. The social norm is going to turn upside down. So things which are normal will become abnormal, and abnormal things will become normal. So look around what's happening now. Those things which we would never have thought would ever be socially and morally and ethically accepted in society are now being forced upon us, and we're being told you need to accept this because this is the new social norm. Marriage is dying out. Marriage has always been the norm for many years. All of the religions encourage marriage. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, Hinduism, they encourage marriage. Nobody allows, fornication. Nobody allows it. But now we're being told that marriage is something which is outdated. It's something that the olden people used to do. In the olden days, you used to get married. Now you don't need to get married. You can just have this civil partnership, this open relationship. You understand? So I'll briefly mention the major signs. I've touched on some of the minor signs. Let me briefly touch on the major signs of Qiyamah. From them is the arrival of Dajjal, the Antichrist. Then the descent of Prophet Isa ﷺ. Then the arrival of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, which are two tribes that will be released. Then the three landslides are going to take place in the east, in the west, and the Arabian Peninsula. Then the thick, heavy smoke that's going to come, and that's going to bloat up the disbelievers. Then the rising of the sun from its place of setting, okay, and the beast, which we don't really have great details of, but will be from the major signs, the arrival of a beast, okay, and then the fire which will drive the people to their place of gathering. I'm going to briefly mention each one of these. Now, as for the minor signs, I've already touched on these, and we said from the first is going to be the death of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, loss of trust, loss of knowledge. Ulama will start to die out. The spread of zina. Zina is going to become the norm. This is now very much the norm within our own communities as well. Zina of the eyes. People are addicted to watching things they're not meant to be watching. Zina of the ears, listening to things they're not meant to be listening to. Okay, spread of riba. Muslims now openly going into riba, interest, mortgages. Okay, and music will prevail. Everybody's listening to music now. Even things that are meant to, they call Islamic, like nasheeds, and now they have musical instruments in the background as well. Yeah. So is this a deception? They call it, oh, it's a nasheed. It's a naat. In the background there's music. Shepherds competing in construction of tall buildings. We've mentioned a widespread alcohol. In Muslim countries now there is alcohol available. Yeah. I've just recently come back from Morocco, and there was a restaurant and they were serving beer. And this is no word of a lie. I'm in the house of Allah. The cups in which they were drinking from were this big. This big. You know, jugs, which we serve like mehman. You have about 10 people, you put one jug in front of them. One person is drinking that. Being served by the Muslims. Being sold by the Muslims, being served by the Muslims, being drunk by Muslims and non-Muslims alike. So alcohol is going to become widespread. Widespread killings. You see what's happening now. And as I've mentioned, a slave girl gives birth to a master, meaning the social order will turn upside down. May Allah protect us from this. Now, before the arrival of Dajjal, let's go deep into it, right? Now, before the arrival of Dajjal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to command the clouds from holding. So this is now 3 years before the arrival of Dajjal. In the first year before the arrival of Dajjal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to command the clouds from holding 1/3 of its rain will now be withheld. And the vegetation on earth, 1/3 will be withheld. The second year, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will command the clouds to withhold 2/3, half of the rain. And the vegetation on earth, half as well. And then the year before Dajjal arrives, there will be a what? A drought. There's going to be a famine as well. There'll be very less water left and very, very less food left on earth. So now in this state of starvation, where animals have died, humans are dying except what Allah allows to live, the Antichrist, Dajjal, will arrive. During this period, Dajjal will arrive, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam describing Dajjal is going to be a human. He's going to be human, he's going to be a young man, he's going to have a very coarse complexion, short in height, he's going to have thick curly hair, he's going to have a wide forehead, a broad upper chest, and he's going to be blind and defective from one eye. It's going to be like, as the scholars have mentioned as well, like a crushed up grape. But this is a lie that he's going to have one eye or he's going to be an alien. No. Dajjal is going to be a human who's going to have 2 eyes, but one will be defective. So I remember recently this video went viral of a baby which was born in Turkey, and the baby had 1 eye. And people started spreading these rumors that Dajjal is born, the Antichrist has arrived. Yeah, so this is a lie. I mean, number one, it was sad enough for those parents that their child is born, their baby is born with 1 eye, and now you've got people saying and spreading rumors that Dajjal is born. So Dajjal will have 2 eyes, but he will be blind from 1 eye. So it's mentioned that one of the eyes will be like a floating grape. That's the left eye. It will be covered with a thick piece of flesh growing at the edge of the eye. So you'll have on the left eye there will be a thick piece of flesh that will be hanging down, okay, from the eye which he's going to be blind from. And written between his eyes, okay, around this area, will be Kaf, Fa and Ra. Kaf, Fa and Ra. In separate letters, okay? And some of the scholars said it will be written on his forehead, Kafir, and only the true, genuine believers who have sincere iman in their hearts, they will be able to see these letters. Everybody else will be blinded from them. He is going to, when he arrives, he's going to travel the world. The first day that he arrives, he will travel the entire world. It is mentioned that the first day that he arrives, the day will be as long as 1 year. The day will be as long as 1 year. That one day, the first day he arrives, it will be long, it will be 365 days. In our lunar calendar, 355 days. And that day is going to be very tough on the people. Very tough. There's going to be chaos everywhere. The Dajjal is going to be here. That one day will be like 365 days. And then the second day is mentioned will be like a month, the third like a week, and then the fourth will be like your normal days. Who said this? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as the days get shorter, Dajjal will get weaker. So the first day will be like 355 days, the lunar calendar. So that's when Dajjal is going to be at his peak. Then the second day, which will be shorter, will be like 1 month, he will start to weaken and weaken and weaken. And he's going to cause chaos everywhere. And it is mentioned that he will enter every city except Makkatul Mukarramah, Madinatul Munawwara and Al-Aqsa. The compound of Al-Aqsa, he will not be able to go into those 3 territories, but everywhere else he will travel to. And he will stand, as I mentioned, from the mountain top, and he will point towards Damascus. So he will point towards the Prophet's Masjid first, and he will say, that is the palace of Muhammad, of Ahmed. That is the palace of Ahmed. Okay? Then there will be 3 tremors that are going to take place. There are 3 tremors that are going to take place. Every hypocrite, male or female, will leave Medina and they will join the army of Dajjal. So first it will be those people who are weak on the Iman anyway, they are going to join the army of Dajjal. The Prophet Muhammad said, if you hear of the arrival of Dajjal, then run away. Run away. Don't do anything else. And also, make sure that you tie your people, your families at home. You tie them up, you don't allow them to go out. There's one individual, it is said, they're going to be so confident in the Iman that I can go out and I cannot be deceived by Dajjal. Within a few moments of going out, he will be deceived and he will become a kafir. So the Prophet ﷺ said, if you are there, living at the arrival of Dajjal, then make sure you run away. And make sure you tie your family members at home. Do not allow them out. And he would trick many people. He will command a certain area of the earth to release its precious stones and gems. And people are going to see all this gold and gems and diamonds coming out from the ground. He's going to command this. People are going to be witnessing this. He will then, during this drought, command the rain to come down. It will start raining. So he's going to show people wealth. He's going to control the rain. And then with the rain will come vegetation. So people will start to eat again normal food. And they will have complete trust in Dajjal. It is mentioned that even the cows, the udders will become full. And many people will be drinking from the cows. Then he will come with a river of fire and a river of water. At a time where these people are going to be in desperate need of water, he is going to come with a river of fire and a river of water. And he will say, if you believe in me, you may drink from this water. And if not, then you drink from the fire. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, close your eyes and drink from the fire. Because in reality, that fire is going to be water. But he is deceiving you. If Dajjal comes, very unlikely we are going to be alive during the arrival of Dajjal. But there's a possibility that we are literally end of times. We are here. Our great-grandchildren, great-grandchildren could be here to see this. Which is why we need to pass down these lessons. So the Prophet said, when he offers you, make sure you don't drink from the water, you drink from the fire. It won't be fire, it will be water. Now his trickery is going to get even more deeper and intense. He is going to deceive the people that he can bring their parents back to life. And he's going to do this. So he bring forward a man and he says that if I bring your parents back to life, will you believe in me? He will say yes. There will be an army of people as well. They say yes. Can you bring our parents back to life? You will believe in me. It is mentioned then that 2 shayateen will come forward. They will take the place of this individual's parents. So he will say, look, I have now brought your parents back to life. But in reality, they're not going to be his parents, they're going to be shayatini jinnat. They're going to come in the form of this person's parents. And this parent will believe, this individual will believe that you are God. Yeah, because that's what he's going to claim. He's going to claim that he is God and he's got control of everything. And they will say, you are true, we believe in you. Then there will come a young man and Dajjal will capture him and Dajjal will interrogate him. Do you believe that I am your Lord? He says, no, I don't believe that you are my Lord. He's going to stand up to Dajjal. So what will Dajjal do? The man will say no to Dajjal, so Dajjal will cut him in half. Dajjal will cut him in half and then walk through him and then put him back together, bring him back to life. The man will be smiling and will say, I still don't believe that you are my Lord. And then what will happen? This person will be smiling and he says, I am even more sure now that you are not God. I am even more sure now that you are not God. This is why I said to you that knowledge is very important. We need to know ilm of this. So Dajjal will then try to slaughter him, will try to cut off his neck. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make his neck, this time will make his neck become like solid brass metal. So he will no longer be able to cut him. And he will be ashamed as he claims to be Allah and he cannot even cut the neck of a person. Or he's not even allowed to, he's not even able to kill him. So then what will happen in front of the people, he's going to throw him into a fire. But that fire in reality will be Jannah for this individual. Now during this time of chaos, Dajjal has been here now. He's caused all of this chaos. People are believing in him. He's performing all of this trickery and deception. Now comes the arrival of Al-Imam Mahdi. Al-Imam Mahdi. Okay? He's going to arrive and there will be a battle between the believers and the army of Dajjal. 1/3 of the army will become martyrs. They will die. 1/3 will run away. And these are the people who will run away from the army of Mahdi and not fight against Dajjal. These people will never be forgiven from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And 1/3 will remain to fight and will remain with Al-Imam Mahdi. So this is now a battle that's taking place between the army of Al-Imam Mahdi and Dajjal. Then one morning, Fajr time, Al-Imam Mahdi will be leading or about to lead the people in Salah. And now will come the ascension of Isa alayhi salatu wassalam, the time of Fajr. The sky will open up and Isa will come down. His hand will be on the wing of each angel. On each side of the angels, and his hands will be on the angels, either side. The Prophet ﷺ describes Isa alayhi salatu wassalam, okay, by his hair, okay, and how he is going to look. We're not going to go into that detail because that's too deep and we don't have enough time. And his clothing will be yellow. He will be wearing a light yellow garment when he lands. The believers will know it's him and they will rush towards him. They will welcome Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. And he will wipe their faces and comfort them of Jannah. He's going to wipe their faces and he will give them glad tidings of Jannah. Who's giving glad tidings of Jannah? Isa to who? To the believers, the last bit of remaining believers. He's going to give them glad tidings of Jannah. Al-Imam Mahdi will offer him to lead the Salah. You lead the Salah. And Isa alayhi salam, he will refuse. He will say, I'm not here to lead Salah. I'm going to pray behind you. So Imam Mahdi will then lead the prayer. And there are a number of things we learn from this. And scholars have mentioned, why does Imam Mahdi lead the Salah and not the Prophet Isa alayhi salam? One of the reasons is Imam Mahdi was given what? What does Imam Mahdi believe in? The Quran. And what does Isa alayhi salam have? Injil. So which is the most superior? The Quran. And this is why Isa alayhi salam will not be able to lead the salah. Because Imam Mahdi has Quran. That's number one. And number two, who is most superior, a prophet or a normal person? A normal imam. It is a prophet. The fact here that Isa alayhi salam is not going to lead the prayer indicates that he is not going to come back as a prophet. He's going to come as a Abdullah, a servant of Allah, who's going to come and he's going to pray behind Imam Mahdi. You understand? So Imam, this is another indication that Isa alayhi salam is not going to come as a prophet. He is going to come as a follower of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's not going to come as a prophet, he's going to come as a warrior. And he is going to kill many of the infidels. They say just by breathing, he's going to breathe out at them, they are going to die. So he'll be doing this. They'll be dying. Then just blowing out, breathing at them, they're going to die in the spot. This is the power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give Isa alayhi salam. Some might say, but this is amazing, like look at this, Allah has given him power. But even then, and somebody could say, like, even if the Christians, they'll read this narration, they say, look at the amazing power he has, meaning he must be God. But even Isa alayhi salam, who's going to unalive, and to be careful with the words I use because you're alive, unalive, Dajjal, he won't be able to get rid of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. He won't have the power to get rid of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, the three nations which are going to come. Which shows they can't be God. He can't be God. You understand? So let's go back anyway. So as we mentioned, when he comes, he will get rid of all of the army of Dajjal. And then remaining will be Dajjal himself. Now Isa alayhi salam is not going to blow at him. He's not going to and Dajjal dies in the spot. He don't. Why? He needs to show the people that I have unalived, I have destroyed Dajjal. So he's going to get a spear and he's going to put it in. Then he's going to take it out. Then he's going to show the people the blood. And now Dajjal will be khalas, history. And nobody can get rid of Dajjal except Isa alayhi salam. Only Isa is going to have the power to get rid of Dajjal, the Antichrist. Not Imam Mahdi, none of his followers. Isa alayhi salam is going to come and he's going to be the one who's now going to get rid of. Now come another fitna. So Dajjal is gone, all of his army is gone. Now is the arrival of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. An announcement will be made to Isa alayhi salam. Jibreel is going to come and say to Isa alayhi salam, take your followers and hide, go into hiding, for Ya'juj and Ma'juj have now been released and you cannot get rid of them. Who is Ya'juj and Ma'juj? Let's briefly discuss them. There are two tribes that lived near the time of Musa alayhi salam. And they were locked away by the king Dhul-Qarnayn. Dhul-Qarnayn means the one with the two horns. It is mentioned that Dhul-Qarnayn, who was the most just ruler, one of the most just rulers in history, who used to wear a helmet that had two horns. Right? He was very just. He spread peace and justice around the world. How? By punishing the unjust and by rewarding the just. If anyone was a believer, he would reward them. If anybody was unjust, they would be destroyed and punished. And he traveled everywhere. He didn't sit in one place in a palace. He traveled everywhere to spread justice. This is mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf. Until he reached a group of people who were very uncivilized. You know, these people who live in jungles, they have no etiquettes, they have no mannerism, no nothing. Jungli kisam ke log. Yeah? So he meets this tribe of people, and they say, and they complain to Dhul Qarnayn. They say that further down, there are a people who are living. They are so uncivilized that they go around, again I need to be careful with the words I'm using, and there are children here as well. In other words, they go around killing, or rather committing every form of sin there is. In every form, the worst possible sins you can think of, these two nations, tribes, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they're committing them. Can you help us? So Dhul Qarnayn, he built for them a wall. The people say this is the wall of Great China, this is wrong. He built such a wall that he said to them that nothing will ever go in and nothing will ever come out. This is such a great wall that will only be destroyed with the permission of Allah. Youngsters, come forward please. You're in the masjid, so come forward and try to listen and benefit. If you come to learn, then come and sit forward. Okay? Would you come forward? You're not bored, are you? Come forward then. So this is such a wall that has been built from Dhul Qarnayn, that Dhul Qarnayn promises the people nobody will ever go in, nobody will ever come out. This wall, which is made from brass, metal and another substance as well, will not even rust, except when Allah wants to. Allah will destroy this wall. Where is this wall and who are these people? Where do they live? We got some description that their eyes are quite small and their faces are like flat shields. And the area, some of the scholars have said, it's somewhere up in Russia, far east. So in other words, they resemble, have you ever seen Mongolians? Yeah? Mongolians, they look very similar to Mongolians. Who are the two tribes, Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Small eyes, they're going to be looking Asian, they're going to wear a lot of fur, furry coats and clothing, their clothing will be out of fur. And that's how they're going to look. And right now they are living. This is not a myth. They are living here right now. And nobody has found them, allocated them. But they're here, they're living. On one occasion, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ woke up from his dream and was very concerned. He was worried. Our mother, Zaynab radiallahu anha, asked, what is the matter, O Prophet of Allah? He said that I have been informed the Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they have created a hole from that wall. And I'm afraid that they are going to come out and cause the fitna and fasad that they promised to do so. And he put his thumb and index finger together. He said, this is how big the wall is. This is 1,400 years ago. And some of the scholars have mentioned that Ya'juj and Ma'juj's tribe, every day they wake up, they try to make a hole. And by the time they finish and go to sleep, the hole closes up again. Then they wake up in the morning again and they start making that hole. Because remember, this is what Dhul Qarnayn made. He said that only Allah will allow this to be destroyed, nobody else can. Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they can never come out except with the permission of Allah. So they're trying every single day. They make a hole this big, they go to sleep, they wake up, it's closed again. But during the end of times, Allah will release them. So where are they? Allahu A'lam, Allah knows best. Some of the scholars have predicted, because of their description, they are in the Far East, somewhere in the Russian Far East, North Pole sides. In fact, when the Mongolians came and they reached the Abbasid Caliphate in Iraq, where they killed or unalived hundreds of thousands of Muslims, you should read the history. Mongolians, you know Genghis Khan, heard of that name, yes? The one who just disappeared, they don't know where his grave is. At that time, the scholars at that time said, these people who are going around unaliving the Muslims in the hundreds of thousands are Ya'juj and Ma'juj have been released. At that time the scholars believed Ya'juj and Ma'juj have been released. They said there's a possibility this could be Ya'juj and Ma'juj. That's how much chaos they were causing, because they fitted the description of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. But of course we believe everything is going to happen in order. Ya'juj and Ma'juj cannot come out until the Dajjal is got rid of. So this is what Ya'juj and Ma'juj do. The two tribes that are going to come during the end of times. And now they're going to be released. Ya'juj and Ma'juj, who are from the Gog and Mag in English. Yeah? Funny is Ya'juj, Ma'juj. But when they come out, it won't be funny. You understand? So their description, as I said, the Prophet said, Sighar al-Ain, they're going to have small eyes, they're going to have a hamid face, look like a hamid shield. And when they're going to come, there is a place somewhere in Syria, which is known as Tabariya. When they're going to, first group of the people from Ya'juj and Ma'juj, when they're going to cross the area, they're going to drink up all of the water from the river. And then when the second group of people from Ya'juj and Ma'juj are going to come, there'll be no water left. They are in the hundreds of thousands. They are 10 times more than humans. The two nations, they are growing. And you might say, but that's not true because we know they're humans. By the way, they're not aliens or some other species. They are humans. But you might think, yeah, but how can that be true like hundreds of thousands of years and they're not come out yet? They are uncivilized. They are unlearned. They don't have technology. They don't have the technology we have. We've only progressed further with the permission of Allah and also with technology. They don't have this. If you go to a jungle and you find these, these tribal people that live all their lives in the jungle, and you give them a mobile phone, you think they're going to know how to use it? Do you think they know what Google is? You give them a phone, they might start trying to eat it because they don't know what it is. You understand? They don't know what it is. You go to even a village in Pakistan, remote village, and give them a mobile. They're going, RKG, what's this? So uncivilized, unlearned people, but will be released with the permission of Allah. And when they are released, they will cause chaos everywhere. It is mentioned that when they come, Isa alayhi salam, he's going to migrate, he's going to go into hiding. Who? Prophet Isa and his followers are going to go into hiding. Ya'juj and Ma'juj are going to come. They are going to, I'm not going to use the K word because I'm live and might get disconnected. They are going to destroy everyone. That's how much fasad they're going to cause. Jazakallah for the sign language. They're going to destroy everyone. And the only people left will be the two nations of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and Prophet Isa was hiding in the mountains with his followers. So now that they believe that they have destroyed everybody, they're going to say, now we're going to destroy those in the heavens. We're going to destroy now those in the heavens. So they're going to shoot the arrows in the skies. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send the arrows back with blood to make them believe that they have destroyed everything in the heavens as well. Now, Prophet Isa was into hiding, their food has finished. They've got nothing there in hiding. So Prophet Isa is going to make a dua. Dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to destroy Ya'juj and Ma'juj. It is mentioned, I'm cutting out a lot of the story because we have very less time. Then Ya'juj and Ma'juj, these two nations, they are all going to be, when Isa makes dua and his dua is accepted, they are going to die. All of them, every single person of the nations of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they're going to die on the spot, they're going to die one death. Yeah, so they're not going to die like some today and some tomorrow and some day. They're all going to die simultaneously, one death. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to send an illness upon them. Some said an illness in the neck, and they're going to fall dead, all of them. They said the animals who are going to be left will then eat their dead flesh and they will become bloated as well. The animals will become fattened with the dead flesh they're going to eat of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. And there's going to be a staunch smell everywhere in the world. So Prophet Isa will offer one of his believers, disciples in the mountains, who can go out to see whether it's safe or not, to see what's happening. And then they're going to bid farewell, not expecting this person to come back. There's a possibility he will be destroyed. But when he goes out, he will come back and he will inform Isa that there's nobody. Ya'juj and Ma'juj are all dead on the floor, and there's a staunch smell everywhere. So Prophet Isa will make dua again to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send down birds, like he did, like طيرا أبابيل. You heard that surah? ألم تر كيف فعل in Surah Al-Fil? Allah is going to send birds down. And the birds are going to pick up the remaining bodies that probably have been decayed now, because the flesh would have been eaten. And they will pick up the bodies, the decayed, decomposed bodies of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and they will throw them away. They will get rid of them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send a rain down that's going to purify the entire earth. So this also means, by purifying the earth now, means that there are only now going to be believers left in the world. All of the disbelievers are gone, finished, they're dead. And they said this is going to be the peaceful time ever, the most peaceful time ever. There are only going to be Muslims living. There's going to be so much peace and barakah. Everyone will get along with each other. Even the predators are not going to go and attack the animals. They said that children are going to be playing with snakes. Children are going to be playing with snakes. The wolves are going to be with the sheep. Everyone will get along. Everyone is going to be happy. They said people are going to pray their salah, their sajda are going to be very long. You know, not like our salah, done and dusted within 2 minutes because we need to get home to catch the last part of the football match. When we're praying, we're thinking of football, thinking of food. It's going to be the most peaceful time ever. There's going to be prosperity and happiness and peace everywhere. However, this will not last for long. This is going to be short. Prophet Isa ﷺ is going to go for Hajj. He's going to send salutations from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. They said he's going to marry, maybe have children, and then he will die a normal death. He's going to die a normal death. And some of the scholars said he will be buried next to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, because there is a space left next to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Allah knows best, but it is believed that Prophet Isa ﷺ will be buried next to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr and Umar radiyallahu anhuma. Allah knows best. Now there will come a landslide in the east, in the west, and the sun will rise from the west, and there will come a beast, which is mentioned in Surah Al-Naml, which is known as Dabba, something which walks on legs. So from this we know that he's going to be like a human, but he's going to be a beast. Will be human but will not look like human. And we don't have much details, so I can't make up things and tell you things that are not in our religion. But he will be from the major signs of Qiyamah as well. And then there's going to be injustice everywhere again. So now slowly, after the death of Isa over time, generation after generation, there will be injustice everywhere. There's going to be fasad everywhere. Yeah? All of the things that were done, that were got rid of, they're going to come back. Deception, zina, adultery, people doing wrong things with their own children, killings, deception, and all of these things will take place again. And the Quran is going to be lifted. There will be no more Quran. There will be no more scholars. Normal scholar, this is going to happen over time. Ulama are going to die out. Muslims are going to die out. It is mentioned that a deformed man, a weak, deformed man, as mentioned in the hadith, will destroy the Kaaba. One by one, he's going to destroy the Kaaba and nobody's going to stop him. Because the people at that time will not know what this building was and who it was owned by and what was the purpose of it. Nobody will know about Muslims, that this used to be the Qibla of the Muslims. They used to pray and they used to do tawaf of this, and Ibrahim said someday he built this, because there will be no more Quran. When there will be no more Quran, then generations, 10 generations later, people are not going to know what Muslims were, who they were, what they believed in. So this man is going to destroy the Kaaba. One by one he's going to destroy and level it, Deccan, as in Arabic called Deccan, to level it with the ground, and nobody's going to stop it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to send any birds in Surah Al-Kahf. You know Surah Abraha? When Abraha and the elephant, his army went to destroy the Kaaba, and Allah stopped it. But now the Kaaba is surplus for requirement. Allah protected it back then because Muslims were going to come later on and they were going to pray towards it. It was going to be the Qibla of the Muslims. Muslims were going to make tawaf around it. But now it's surplus for requirement. Nobody knows what it is. So the Kaaba will be destroyed. No more Kaaba. No more Quran. Muslims, their history, fitna, fasad, everywhere. And then will come a heavy smoke. This heavy smoke is going to come, and as mentioned, is going to bloat all of the disbelievers. And then will come as I mentioned, the landslides are going to come. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will command the angel to blow the sur, the trumpet. The angel, Israfil, is going to blow the trumpet during the worst of times. No more Muslims left. So no Muslim is going to experience the day of Qiyamah like the trumpet. Everyone will fall dead on the spot. Everything will be destroyed. You read all of these surahs in juz number 30. They describe this. إذا السماء انفطرت وإذا الكواكب انتثرت وإذا البحار فجرت وإذا القبور بعثرت. Then you read إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت وإذا الجبال سيرت. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها القارية ما القارية وما أدراك ما القارية يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش. All of these surahs describe إذا السماء انشقت وإذا الأرض وحقت وإذا الأرض مدت وألقت ما فيها وتخلت. All of these surahs describe what's going to happen. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will now I can't use a K word, but I will say use the word destroy. He will destroy or bring to an end all of the angels. Until there will be one angel left. There will be only Allah left and Malakul Maut. Malakul Maut. Allah will say, now is your time to die. And the very angel who took out the souls of hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of zillions of people, including the other angels, will be left. And only Allah. And Allah will command, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will himself then take out, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself will then end the life of the Malakul Maut, the angel of death. And then there will be nothing except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will command, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask, to whom is the dominion today? To whom is the dominion today? And Allah will answer himself, Lillahi Rabbil Alameen. For Allah, the Rabb of the mankind. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring back the angel of death back to life. The angel of death will come back to life. Then all of the other angels, Allah will command and they will come back to life as well. Then from them will be Israfil. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will then command Israfil to blow the trumpet for a second time. And when Prophet Angel Israfil blows the trumpet for the second time, then everybody will now be raised for the day of Qiyamah. And this is why the day of Qiyamah is known as Qiyamah. What does Qiyamah mean? It means to stand. You know, La uqsimu biyawmil Qiyamah. You've learned that surah, haven't you? Surah Al-Qiyamah. Qiyamah comes from the word Qiyam. Qiyam means to stand up. So Yawm al-Qiyamah means the day everybody will stand before Allah. The day everybody will stand before Allah. And then the judgment will begin. Every person, every individual will be held accountable before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who lived their life in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابُهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَيَقُولُ هَاؤُمُ اقْرَءُوا كِتَابِيَهْ إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٍ حِسَابِيَهْ. They're going to be given their book in their right hand. And they're going to be happy. They're going to say, فَيَقُولُ هَاؤُمُ اقْرَءُوا كِتَابِيَهْ. Come and read my book. إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٍ حِسَابِيَهْ. I knew this day was going to come. And there are going to be others. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابُهُ بِالشِّمَالِ. They will have given their book in their left hand. فيقول يا ليتني لم أوت كتابي. They say, يا ليتني, destruction to us. It was better for us to die and not be resurrected again. لم أوت كتابي. It was better for us not to be given our kitab. And then there's two destinations. Those who are given their book of deeds in the right hand, they are going to go where? Jannah. Those who are given their book in the left hand will go Jahannam. A'udhu min dhalik. So, this is our belief regarding the end of times and what is going to happen. I've mentioned before you the major signs, and some of the scholars have said this entire period of the first major sign till the final major sign could be anything up to 200 years, 300 years. We don't know the entire thing from the arrival of Dajjal, okay, until the Qiyamah itself could be a period of 200 years, 300. We don't know, because when Dajjal himself comes, we know that that first day of Dajjal is going to be like a year long, and obviously the day was short. You understand? So this is our belief and our aqeedah regarding Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, that it is true. He's not dead. He's going to come back to life. He's going to come back to this world, and he's going to be a full Muslim, a follower of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We believe in Imam Mahdi, that he is going to come, okay, and he's going to be the leader, the general of the believers. Okay, we believe in Dajjal, the Antichrist, who has not come yet. Who has not come yet. We mentioned that to you as well. Ya'juj and Ma'juj, this is not a myth. People who go into eschatology, they start making things up. That's referenced by the Quran and Sunnah. And they say that, oh, but Google Maps haven't picked it up. Yeah? If they existed, Google Maps would have picked them up. Is Google Maps greater than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The Quran is telling us they're here, they're living. And you're telling us Google Maps haven't found them. So is Google Maps more powerful than the Quran and the Sunnah? No. So they are here, they are living. And every single day, Ya'juj and Ma'juj are trying to come out. When they come out, it's going to be one of the most toughest times on the face of this planet. But by then, as I mentioned, there will only be a few Muslims left. They'll be in hiding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding upon what has been said, and to hold and to understand the correct aqeedah regarding these major signs of the day of judgment. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. It is Thursday. Once the adhan starts, our Jumu'ah starts. Once the adhan of Maghrib is called out on the day of on Thursday, our Jumu'ah starts. So we in a few moments will be entering Jumu'ah. Those of you, alhamdulillah, who have been fasting, there is going to be iftar for brothers to open their fast upstairs. Okay, and there's going to be some light refreshments available as well. So please do take part in that. Yeah.
You said that Allah's going to kill everyone, including the angels.
Yeah.
Is he going to kill Shaitan as well?
Yeah, everything will be gone. Shaitan will be destroyed. Shaitan will be destroyed way before the angels. Shaitan is from the jinnat. So the jinnat are going to die with the humans. Angels will die last. Shaitan will come alive back when other people and the jinnat are resurrected, because everyone will be held accountable. The humans and the jinnat, they will be held accountable. Okay?